What's up, everybody? Now, some of you guys, you probably already heard me mention this, be it in interviews over the course of the last year's posts, videos, and it's not going to be new to you, but we kind of see it play out right now, and you can really see it. My band Backwards, we have a sound that allows us to do a variation of different things. So it is difficult to slap us in the genre, but we exist mostly in the metalcore, hardcore community, and that's all the bands that we've toured with over the years have been among that genre. That's where we drew all of our influence for our bass, more specifically, directly the metalcore. That's where we drew our bass. When you consider where I came from, the bands that I came from, the bands that the other guys came from, that was our base, that was our foundation. It's no secret. And the band is politically, and we knew this was going to be the case when we even first started to pop everything off. The band is politically at a spot that makes us almost an anomaly in the genre. It's one of those things where the genre leans heavily to the left. Genres, if you will, leans heavily to the left. I'm not saying that everybody is, but the vast majority of them are. And everything it's more so an echo chamber. They generally have the same exact positions politically or very similar and close. And the reason why we stuck out like a sore thumb is because we didn't have the positions that they generally had. And most of them didn't even understand it, considering that we're libertarians, we're anarcho-capitalists, and they couldn't even just conceive this whole idea that there's a band that would not ever really stand in solidarity with some of the positions that they have, be it in the politicians that they support. We saw this with Bernie Sanders. That's pretty much the unanimous guy that they all loved, and we, of course, knew he was a crook. We didn't support him and would never support someone like that. And it brings us under fire. It brings us, I'm not going to say we've been ostracized. They don't have the power like that to even do that, because we've been able to, obviously, again, we're in a unique situation because of myself and Alex and the stuff that we do, like on the political side of things, as far as our commentary that isn't necessarily related to the band, the support and stuff that we've been able to get over the years. We have not had to go through traditional means, right? Despite we still had a great album release, sold a lot of records, and I appreciate everybody in that regards that helped even with that and assisting with the distribution, Stay Sick and all those guys as well. Big shout out to them. But we're a pretty self-sufficient band. Album 2 is coming soon, by the way. But what we saw play out here, I'm about to show you guys to set the scene, is something that it's funny, I just mentioned this yesterday. I'm not going to sit up there and pretend like we're the biggest band in the world, right? Because we're not. We're absolutely not, okay? But we are semi-known, and we have the sales to prove it. We have the video views to prove it. And it's one of those things where when this whole deal popped off and you saw all these big bands, blue check marks, hopping on this bandwagon of having the same position, which is generally we have to stand in solidarity. We have to do some racism bad, right? And that's what they did. Obviously, I didn't do that, considering that I haven't much adjusted much of anything that I said, right? I gave y'all the blueprint 2016, 2015, bro. No, matter of fact, before that, let's talk about when I was in fire. I been gave y'all the blueprint. What's the last song I dropped on the way out there? Had a music video, The Capitalist. I told y'all where I was at. That was like 2012. I told y'all where I was at. Y'all already knew. If you listen to that EP that we dropped, and you look at some of the song names and some of the stuff we're talking about, annexation, all of that secede. Like what y'all thought I was moving everybody towards when we were talking about, the capitalists and all. What do you think we were talking about? Huh? Like I've been there. And folks within this scene have despised me and my band for it. Now, it's nothing I've ever cried about or griped about. I don't care. If you think that this stuff starts and ends with Donald Trump, or you have the same old generic opinions and you don't like mine because of it, that's fine. Let's have a dispute about it, right? But I'm not going to change it. I don't care enough about that to sit up and change my position because y'all all have the position. But I just said yesterday, despite having that success, despite being covered by some of these same publications, it wasn't until I actually said, I quote tweeted Loudwire, for example, and to be fair to Loudwire, they reached out to me after I did that when they had shared some op-ed by way of Avenged Sevenfold. And they were saying same old thing, why Black Lives Matter and all this stuff. And I was like, you know what? Y'all can talk to me. Y'all Loudwire knows exactly who I am. I have, we remember we did that whole battle royale. We had the top video on there. They had to put us in the Hall of Fame. Top video on their own website, on their own publication for 5 weeks. It's not like they don't know who we exist. Alternative Press certainly knows I exist. They had no problem quoting me when Straight from the Pad dropped that corny ass "A Good Night All Right" single. And no disrespect to them, I just thought the song was corny as shit. I'm gonna tell you, And all I said was side, straight from the path. They had absolutely no problem quoting me, and they know I exist. They've covered our music before too, so it's not that they don't know I exist. And when this whole ordeal talked about, and they was so worried about getting all these voices and getting people's perspective and stuff like that. Anybody want to take a big guess? Until I had to quote tweet them when I was like, dog, this is getting ridiculous. Until I quote to them, yeah, everybody want to guess how many of those publications, how many of those organizations, how many of those bands or anything like that reached out to me, talk about my experience in this scene, being a black man fronting this band. I'm not only a black man fronting the band, I'm a black man with with politics that you guys vastly disagree with. So I always had a target on my back. Not once have they ever asked me for my position, but anybody want to guess how many of them reached out to me to get my perspective? Zero. None of them. Nobody's reached out to me. It wasn't until then, and then again, to be completely fair to them, Loudwire, they reached out to me after that, but to them, nobody reached out to me for nothing. I wasn't asked, not nobody at the bands or anything like that, saying the same position. I mean, you guys follow me. Never said anything. They know I exist. Now, why do you think that is? I'm pretty sure if I was a hardcore leftist, it'd be pretty straightforward. Oh man, we got a black guy front the band in this scene. Oh, let's see what he. No, I don't have the same positions as you guys. I think you guys are losers, to be completely honest. I think everybody's trying to piggyback off of this situation, the signal. But again, I gave y'all the blueprint. Y'all can't say I told y'all where this was. It's funny how everybody's coming to, well, not everybody, but you know what I mean. Like a lot of people are saying, man, that's how relevant is Veracity now. The album we dropped. I gave y'all 18-track album talking about the dangers of the state. I even said in self-ownership where we have that bridge, that rap bridge, and I specifically mentioned this sort of scenario right here when I was like, for example, when a cop shooting a black man, you focus on the racism, ignoring all the statism. Holding signs, rioting, it's not about to save him because you must have forgot that that's the power that you gave them. I had been there, done that. That was 2016, 2015. I had been in opposition in the state, and y'all hated me for it. Y'all would defend that criminal institution. Y'all did that. Y'all defended that criminal institution. And now, because it's socially acceptable and politically expedient, here we are. But getting to why I did the video, there's a thread of that a guy should be credited to him. I'm not necessarily against what it is or what happened, but what they did was showing black people within the rock. So my band's up. It's pretty obvious. So big credit to him. looking through some of the comments, nobody had nothing to say about, no necessarily negative to say about these other guys and these other bands. I pop up what they say. F this ANCAP clown. Delete this one. So I don't belong on the list because why? I'm black. I'm black. Well, I'm black. You know, you think this is pretty obvious. They're showing all these other guys. Delete this one. ANCAP clown. Had the wrong political positions. I had the wrong political positions. And that's why they mad. And then you look, you got this guy explain a little bit about me. You had guys saying that, oh, well, like even this guy, well, he at least said, well, he doesn't have the right positions, but he at least should be on the list, right? Where you had this guy, like I say, as a prime example, says, hold on, I'm gonna find it, right? Where was that post? At? I think guys are starting to delete posts. But there was a guy that was responding to him. It was this guy who had said he should be on it. And he was like, as he's saying it, he's like, well, unfortunately, not everybody in our genre is very progressive. It's like, they don't care about black voices. They don't care about, this has all been a signal boost, bro. They don't care about any of that. The whole point of that, this whole entire ordeal has been a signal boost, bro. It's been a signal boost. And because I have the wrong positions, here we are. And it's, you don't, there's not a guy in this scene that despises the state more than I do. Not one. There ain't, you can't name one. Find that this likes the state more than I do. This slide has pointed out their aggression more than I do, but more importantly, has done it more consistently. I'm not talking about these guys that all cops are bad, I'm mad, F the police, all cops are bastards, that's pigs, and then turn it around supporting a big government progressive such as Bernie Sanders. Which those are diametrically opposed situations. And I had one guy who was like, I wish I could find that dude, because I quoted it. Matter of fact, this is what I'll do. I'll quote it, because I did quote it. I don't know if he deleted it. Or what? Right here, this dude, right? Yeah, right here. Yeah, I saw a post of his the other day. Sounded pretty MAGA. My top selling shirt when Backwards was going through that first album cycle was a shirt that had an X on both Hillary Clinton's face as well as Donald Trump. I don't like Donald Trump. Never liked, I can criticize him based on merit, based on what he does, but. Of course I don't. He's not a libertarian. I don't support Donald Trump ever. But they don't even know how, they don't even understand how to make that sort of it doesn't align there, right? Because they feel as if, well, if he doesn't support us in our cause, oh well, then he's just a mainstream conservative, or he's something that they feel like they can all agree amongst themselves is a bad thing. He's never seen anything like this that I've ever posted. He knows that. Says, I don't remember the post exactly, so I don't want to misquote. It was something about him wanting to shoot protesters or calling them animals. Never once have I made either of those claims. And those are completely different things. That's how you know this dude lying. But he has no issue spreading this bogusness. That's how you know how he lying. Those are two completely different things. One saying shoot looters, one saying one's calling people out. Those are two completely different positions. Those aren't interconnected. And I've never said either one. I've never stated either one of those positions. Never have I stated either of those positions. But here we are. Had no problem misquoting me. Says, oh, I'm not going to quote him, but he's, misquoting me. It's about having the wrong positions. And I wish they would just come out and say that. Just come out and say, you don't like the position, and I'll be fine with that. Okay. But they can't quote me correctly, They have to try to pin my, this is how I always see it. False dichotomies. You either support us and everything that is that we're doing and you don't criticize or anything like that, or you support the completely opposite position, be it Trump supporting or cops supporting cops or some old stupid stuff like that. Things that they can't possibly pin on me if they know anything about me. But they don't even try to make that distinction. And they get upset because guys like myself exist and they feel like we don't belong. We don't have the right thought. We don't have the right, we don't have the right thought. Let me find that tweet of little homie talking about, let me see. Hold up. Let me find, I want to find that tweet of little homie that was all like, called me Candace Owens or tried to conflate me with her as if we don't have, I mean, we're obviously, her and I, economically and philosophically different. Here it is. So that's what happened. He did the tweets are getting deleted. The tweets are getting deleted is what's happening. Punk has always been a leftist genre, and ANCAPs have no place in it. They're pretty, I mean, at least this guy's being honest. It was never about hearing folks out. It was always about hearing folks out, giving them a signal boost that had the positions that they particularly agree with in tactic. Because can't nobody possibly, and in order to try to make sense of that, if they can't pin you down, they give you positions that you don't have. That again, amongst themselves, they unanimously agree. So it's well, he's using the rhetoric of so-and-so, right? If they can't pin you down. Oh, that's something so-and-so would say. They just don't even know that they can't even make the distinction. And it's dishonest. It's lazy. It's intellectually lazy, but it's dishonest. Look, no, I'm not with y'all. Y'all wanted me dead for the last almost the better half of this decade. Y'all been wanting me dead. Y'all hated my positions. Of course, we're not on the same team. I'm not marching with y'all. Why would I march with people that want to? This is how I see it. This is the perfect way to put it. When I talk about cops and their state aggression, and then you get these weirdos who think that they want to give them new rules and all this stuff, and they only time they hate the cops is when they do something unfavorably in regards to something, again, that's politically expedient. It's not like a consistent thing because they're going to get on the other side of this, going right back to support government policies that have to be enforced by federal agents or state or like state and local agents, all statism anyway. That's what I mean when I say the state. It doesn't mean just like Texas or something where the federal government's a state as well, right? So as long as you have the right positions, they'll be with you. But if you don't have the positions that they have, they're against you. They've hated me. Of course I don't align with y'all. I'm not protesting with y'all. Y'all want me dead. Y'all ain't even proposing a solution there. Y'all still trying to get acknowledged and beg for acceptance from these white folk. I ain't with that. Begging for, white people must do something. And not. Y'all see them way more superior than I do. I'm over here trying to get these brothers armed. I'm over here trying to. I don't like the first thing that triggers me when they talk about unarmed black man. The fact that I don't like black men going around being unarmed. That don't give no police the reason to kill him. It doesn't matter if he's unarmed or not. You know, he ain't in the act of committing any act of aggression upon nobody. But nonetheless, I'm out here trying. I want folks to be self-sufficient. I want people to be self-reliant. I don't care. You can have your goddamn inclusivity and all those buzz terms that you guys use. I'm not posting no black boxes. I ain't posting any of that nonsense because I know you guys are frauds. This is a signal boost. That's it. So I see y'all, and going back to my point, as just opposing gangs. Look at it like that. Opposing gangs. And I ain't got to take any of the gang side. Y'all just opposing gangs right now. And just because you on the opposite side of them don't mean that you got the answers, sweet. You know? But this is why a lot of these guys have absolutely no idea what they're talking about. A lot of folks, they getting all these positions of these pistol neck band dudes that I know intellectually don't know what they're talking about. They have absolutely no idea what they're talking about. It's an echo chamber, but you don't have to learn outside of your own echo chamber. You don't have to try to process information that doesn't exist in that information, in that echo chamber. All you have to do is be in the echo chamber. Participate in the groupthink that exists in that echo chamber and yell in it. Pretend like everything outside of it doesn't exist. And that's where we are. Me, I don't know. I would love to have roundtable discussions with y'all. Y'all don't invite me to the forums. And I'm on TV. Like, that's the funny thing about all this. Like, it ain't like they getting the perspective of these guys. All these guys do is music. Like, I'm doing all this other stuff, right? In addition to the band and stuff. So, this is what I do for meat and bread. Talk stuff just like this. I do this all day long. I do this for meat and bread. When y'all go get off a tour, and work at the Subway or the local diner, I do this. There's no off switch that I have to hit. I do this. And I understand that certain things I say, a lot of guys are going to disagree. And I'm fine with that. Let's have a discussion. But they don't want to do that. They don't even want me to be a part of this discussion. They want to pretend as if I don't exist. And you're seeing this. But I want to be clear as day. It is never this whole thing where, as you saw all these guys jumping on this signal bandwagon, this whole thing had absolutely nothing to do with black. People are using this to try to be on the right side of history and present themselves as more. It's like moral posturing is what it is. So they make themselves look good. Hey, look at me. I'm down for the cause. Never mind what they're proposing. Never mind any position. That's the only reason this is happening. I'm not saying that there aren't people that have genuine positions, right? I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is to act like all these guys are concerned, or even the guys that are genuine have the right answers, is come on, man. Like, we know y'all full of. This is why everybody's giving all these folks ultimatums. Like, you need to say something and speak up again. Bro, y'all are losers. I'm never going to beg to be accepted by white folk. I'm never going to beg for access to white folks' resources. I'm never going to beg to be acknowledged, pat on the head, or anything like that to these white folks. If any of you guys are trying to, keep me out of something because I'm black, I'm not begging to be accepted by you. Like, that's for losers. I'm going to still have the same position. That's what it is. You can acknowledge it or you cannot acknowledge it. I will call you out. I will, do all of that. But one thing I'm never going to do is beg to be accepted by anybody. Even right now, what I'm talking about, I'm not talking. They don't want me in. That's fine. I'm still here. I mean, I'm still here, but I ain't going to beg you to accept me. That's for losers. That's straight up for losers. Like I say, if any of them fools, little scrawny, little pencil neck tatted white dudes want to, and these bands virtue signaling, want to have a conversation with me, hit me up. I'm fairly easy to contact.